Welcome back to Society Case Files. My name is Robert, and today I'm going to talk about another Kickstarter thing. It's just an insane coincidence that I happened to get two in 2 days. So I got the Cats, the Conspiracy, and then the very next day I got the Planet of the Apes. If you like this kind of content and you want to see more, please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Otherwise, I'm going to dive right in. The first thing we're going to talk about is the fact that a while back I did a video about this game, Terra Primate, which is savage role-playing in a world where man is the missing link. So basically, it is the Eden Studios version of Planet of the Apes. Or, an even better way to say it is that it's basically all flesh must be eaten, but instead of zombies, it's apes and monkeys and that sort of thing. I love the fact that on the back it says, prepare to go ape. But anyway, the point was that I did a video with two games that have effectively been sort of replaced. These are obviously a little bit lesser known since they're not big properties or anything. And what I thought was interesting was just how detailed Terra Primate is. I mean, it goes into great depth with different ape worlds and scenarios that you can play through, and it's pretty cool. Now, Planet of the Apes does something very similar to that, as a matter of fact. It offers the opportunity to play through any era of the ape journey. I can't even believe I just said that. But in any event, the card to check out the video for this and for the H.P. Lovecraft Academy, Student Academy, basically like high school for Lovecraft characters, sort of Harry Potter Lovecraft. That's also in the video. Now, just quickly, I will be doing a video about that Kickstarter because I did get the PDF for Cthulhu High School, basically, and we'll talk about that at another time. But for now, let's look at some of the things that I got from the Kickstarter. Now, I didn't go all in. I didn't get like the minis and all that other stuff. As far as I remember, the minis were the files so that you could 3D print them yourself, but I don't know that for sure. I have a short of this as well if you want to see a closer look at some of this stuff. But we got this bag, this little pleather dice bag, and it's got a symbol on it that's kind of hard to see, but it's pretty cool. We got this map. Now, I didn't show this map in the short, but I will show it here. Well, I shouldn't call it a map. It's basically a cool poster of the capsule that they used in the original movie. Let me flip it over since I had that the wrong way up. It's going to be hard to see because this is actually quite big. So we got this. And then on the other side is the blueprint for it. It's nuts. It's really cool. I'm not entirely sure what you would do with it other than have a novelty item. I mean, I love it. I'm not saying I'm sad I have it, but I don't really know what the purpose of it is per se. We also got a monkey challenge coin. I'm sorry, an ape challenge coin. The librarian from Discworld would ook me to death. So on one side, it's got an ape head. I don't know. You might be able to see it. And then on the other side, it's sort of just got a symbol. And I don't really want to open this, so I'm not going to do so. But if you can see past the little barcode, there's a symbol. We got a patch. I guess you could iron or sew on this patch somewhere if you were so inclined. It's actually kind of cool. Then we got another map. Now, this one I have not opened yet, but I will do so now. And this is sort of a cloth map, and it reminds me of all those old role-playing games like Ultima and some of the more fantasy games where you'd get these cool cloth maps to try and sort of chart your path. And this is what it looks like. It's actually really cool. Floppy. Anyway, it's got a lot of really neat details, and it'd be kind of fun to toss this into someone's hands. It says, "Welcome to Ape City, capital of Simia." Can't believe that. And it's got a bunch of points of interest. Here's Lake Ape, the Lawgiver's Shrine, to the Provinces and Forbidden Zone. And then we have a quote. "And we will build our own cities in which there will be no place for humans except to serve our ends. And we shall found our own armies, our own religion, our own dynasty, the unknown ape." Well, wasn't he a character? Next up, we've got these character sheets. I don't know what it is about tiny ass character sheets. I guess they take up less room on the table, but this is annoying for me because, again, just like I complained about in my last video concerning a game, these are just too damn small. I'm going to be honest. I mean, I can read it, but it isn't fun. And I mean, I'm going to have to write tiny ass numbers and my handwriting sucks. So trying to etch in something that small, not going to be fun. So if I was to play this game, I would definitely be on the lookout for a bigger character sheet. I'm sure there is one online. You'll notice also that the back of the character sheet totally blank, so it's not double-sided. But that is the whole character sheet. All right, next up. I know we haven't even gotten to the main rules. This is a massive book, and it is called The ANSA Files, Classic Film Series Sourcebook. I thought that the new material, the War of the Planet of the Apes and all that stuff, I thought that came out as well, but now I don't remember. It's been so long since I backed this. It has a lot of cool artwork in here. Oh, it's heavy. But some of it is photos from the movies. It's got characters like Caesar is in here. It's got just tons of great stuff. Harlan the chimpanzee, Zelda the chimpanzee, President Arthur Bishop Trundy, Governor Breck, tons and tons of stuff. It's very cool. So if you want to play in the classic era of the Planet of the Apes, you would be able to with this. It's got a lot of cool details. Just tons of pictures, lots of great information. Some of it is like drawn versions of the movies too, which is cool. So anyway, ANSA Files, no slouch. Pretty hefty book. Just a tiny bit of damage on the corner from travel, but not too bad. Then we've got this piece of art. And this is basically the main cover of the rule book without the text. So I guess you could throw it on the wall if you really love it. Finally, we have the core rule book. And this is it. Beware the beast, man. Prepare to be thrust onto a planet where humans are the lowest order of living things and the superior beings are apes. It's the evolutionary process, but in reverse. Anyway, you know the story of Planet of the Apes. Everyone does. So, this one is pretty cool. It goes into a lot of detail about the culture of the apes, how to play the game, so on and so forth. And as you can see, it is no slouch. It is a hefty book and definitely worth it. I should mention that this is by West End Games. If you are not familiar with them, they are the ones who probably most famously had the Star Wars game way back in the day. And they do this D6 system. They've revitalized it. It's a little different now for this. They tried to make it a little bit more cinematic, I guess. And basically, the core mechanic is that you roll multiple D6s based on your character, and you add them together to overcome a difficulty. And the difficulties range from like 15 to 30, 30 being really, really, really hard. And basically, that's it. That's how it works. If you're familiar with the system, if you've played it in the past, I don't think you'd be too surprised by what's going on in here. They do have an open license, so you could probably go and check out the system before you bought the game. And of course, as with all things, if you just love this setting and you don't care about the D6 system, or maybe you don't even like it, you could very easily run this in anything you'd like. It's not like it's super difficult to take what they've got here and make monkey people and do whatever you want. So if the D6 system from West End doesn't suit your fancy, you've got options. And this book is so cool, and it's got so much stuff in it and so much great art that I would be comfortable just getting it for the sake of everything that they're presenting. I've loved the Planet of the Apes movie since I was a little kid. I haven't really been able to get into the newest stuff because those apes look far too real, and I'm just soft-hearted as hell, and it just makes me sad and miserable. But as far as a game goes, I think this is really cool. It's actually kind of funny that in 1 week I got anthropomorphic apes and psychic cats. So I guess it's a non-human role-playing game week. Now, if I'm to compare this to Terra Primate, I would say that Terra Primate still offers more of a generic approach to ape play. I had to pause as I was about to say that. Ape play. Whatever. It has more diversity because it's not bound to an intellectual property like Planet of the Apes is. I mean, Planet of the Apes is very clearly set to use the lore that has been invented for the movies and all that good stuff. So as you think about that, if you're like, but I really just need guidelines to make monkey stuff, I guess you could try and find Terra Primate. I think it's on DriveThruRPG. But I mean, if you just love the lore of Planet of the Apes, then maybe you'll go specifically for this book. Now, I will say that as I flipped through this, they do talk about the themes of Planet of the Apes. I mean, one of them is that they always went into bigotry and sort of caste systems and the volatility between ideologies. I mean, that was kind of the conversation happening in Planet of the Apes. So the gorillas were considered sort of this brutish, serious caste, where the chimpanzees are a little bit more liberal, and, you know, their ideologies clashed frequently. And, you know, there was the concept of being kind to humans, and then the others who are like, they're nothing but animals and we should hunt them and do blah, 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 horrible stuff to them. And that was the conversation about how we were treating things. So the game does address that, and it talks about, do you want to follow the theme of Planet of the Apes and address these kinds of concerns and use it as sci-fi and really examine the current state of affairs? Or would you rather just, and I'm not kidding, it does say monkeys on horseback, which is more of like an action adventure. You happen to be apes, or, you know, humans in the service of apes, going around doing adventures. You know, it's like, if you don't necessarily want to get heavy and deep, you don't have to. They've got plenty of ways and avenues to enjoy the experience and the lore without necessarily going into those deep topics. And they also do mention that nobody at the table should be uncomfortable if these are the kinds of things that someone doesn't really want to talk about in a role-playing game, because maybe at the end of the week they just want to hang out and shoot guns with monkeys. Well, you know, you need to be cognizant of that and not necessarily throw people to the ideology wolves, as they say. So in any event, this is the Planet of the Apes game. I'm very happy with it. I think this was a pretty good Kickstarter, and the quality is just incredible. It's at least up there with my Raven books, and if I'll post that card too. The Raven game is stunning. That's one of my favorites of all time, and this is right up there with it as far as how well they did. I will point out that it was a year late, and they do have the copyright proving out that they had intended to get this out much sooner. It's 2024, but I think it was meant for June of 2024, and here we are, you know, end of August 2025. But I could kind of see where the time went. They probably had to jump back and forth with the people who approved the lore and all that good stuff. So was it an entire year worth of delays worth it? I have no idea. I mean, the fact that I forgot what pledge I did until I went and looked it up is pretty telling. You know, even with their updates and stuff, it was a little rough. But the last thing I want to mention is that I did not get a GM screen with it, which is a little bit surprising considering that almost every one of them at least offers that, and I throw it in. I may have missed it. Again, it's been so long since I did this pledge, I don't really remember what happened. But I'm sure that there is a GM screen available. I'm not sure that these are available yet outside of Kickstarter, but if they are, then there we go. Also, I did get these in PDF quite a while back and was able to flip through them, which was super nice because you could zoom in and look at different things and search. Probably my favorite thing about the PDFs is searching for rules. But anyway, are you a fan of the Planet of the Apes? Would you try this game? Is this the kind of thing that you like? Have you seen all the movies? Let me know in the comments. Talk about it. Anyway, this is Robert with Society Case Files, signing off.